you can see that we have managed to successfully change from root to random guy. You can have pretty much as many groups or as many users as you wish, as many as your system can physically support. And these sort of information can be seen in a file. So how many users you have, which users you have, how are they configured, how many groups do you have, etc. But those things are found in Etsy, in PassWD and Etsy Shadow. We're not going to do that for the time being. If I show you the files, they will mainly serve the purpose of confusion because there's a lot of stuff there aside from the usernames. But I don't want you to worry about it. We will deal with it in due time. For the time being, I just want you to know that there is a file that lists all the users, and there is another one which lists all the groups without any problems of whatsoever. Anyway, I would like to bid you all farewell, and I sincerely hope that I shall see you in the follow-up tutorial. Welcome all to this tutorial. Today I'm just gonna first go ahead and clear the screen, and afterwards we will deal with a couple of commands, 3 of them to be exact. So we'll have rm, we will have move, and we will have cp for copying. Anyway, let's just go over them. The first one, well, RM is always nice, and RM is basically used to delete files, delete folders, delete pretty much anything you wish to delete. However, you should keep in mind that this is not like deleting in Windows. Once you delete them with RM, it is not very likely that you will get them back, or you could get them back, but you would need to invest a ridiculous amount of effort into actually doing it. And still, it would be rather questionable. So keep that in mind when using RM, especially when passing certain arguments to it, which cause it to skip verification or something of a kind, and you delete a folder like full of things, but you can't always do that. Here's why. You can't delete a folder full of things unless you pass certain arguments to the rm command. This is a precautionary measure, to say the least. So I have test folder which has certain files in it, and if I say rm test folder, it's going to tell me immediately cannot remove test folder, it is a directory. Well, what seems to be the problem there? So what? I know that it's a directory, I want to delete it. And it might seem strange to you, but you can't just delete folders just like that, primarily because once you do, they're gone. The good place to look is of course the help page, and we are looking for the f command, -f. So we of course, as with all others, have recursiveness. And if you want your commands to be recursive, to, I don't know, if they perform a certain operation on a directory or in a file or something of a kind, recursive generally means, as I've stated before, that they do it on their subfolders, and then they do it then they do it to the files within those subfolders, whatever it is that the command does. So dash lowercase r or dash uppercase r or dash recursive. I purely doubt that anybody actually uses this dash recursive. Usually it's dash capital R dash lowercase r. These things are universal pretty much. Any command that has recursive abilities will actually have these 2 arguments pretty much embedded into it. Anyway, if we move upwards, and there we go. We have fors here. Ignore non-existent files and arguments, never prompt at all. So it will never ask you any questions. It's just gonna go through it, and it's gonna remove things, clear them rather fast, which is not a very good thing. Well, it is efficient in a sense of deleting files, but it's not a very good thing in the sense of recovery. Anyway, we will use the recursive and the fors function today. So in order for you to delete a directory, you would need to delete its contents. So rm -rf -test. Voila, there you go. It is gone. ll. The test folder is no longer here. You cannot see it. You cannot find it. It is gone. Permanently gone. Yeah, too bad. what can you really do about it? Anyway, be rather careful when using rm command. You can delete regular files with rm. Let's see what. So test123. No additional arguments are needed, but like this, it's gonna prompt you for. It's gonna actually prompt you, and it's gonna say rm remove regular empty file test123. Do you want to do this or not? If you do, you type in y. If you're not, then you type in n. So let's say that I am, and if I do ll again, it's gone, completely gone. So let's try one more thing. Let's try to delete the file called Red Hat, and we're gonna do that uh, by telling RM not to ask us any questions. So Red Hat, and if I say -F, press enter, you see this is just gonna remove the folder. This is just gonna remove the file without any problems of whatsoever. But the same applies as with the folder. It's not gonna ask us any questions. It's not gonna care. You've told it not to care, and it will just go about things, deleting them, which can be which is pretty bad. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and clear the screen. We have two more commands to process, which is basically cp that is copy, and here's how it works. From and then to. You type in cp, you type in the path to the file that you wish to copy, and then you type in the path destination, so source and destination. From would be the source, to would be the destination. Simple as that. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the cp help. So help. Oh my, there's a lot of things here. Anyway, what are we looking for? Sure, we got verbose, but we're not really interested. Well, we're gonna use, for, as I said before, for smaller amounts of files, it's not that important. But when you got 50 or 100 or 200 or 10,000, not a bad idea to have this turned on. Well, maybe not for 10,000, but because you're not going to be able to look at them all. But let's say for 50, for 100 or something of a kind, it's not a bad thing. Anyway, what are we looking for here? And there we go. You see this recurring subject, this recurring theme with recursiveness. It's -r. I'm just trying to make a point that other commands are also similar in terms of arguments. So if you got one set of arguments that you're passing to one command and they have a certain markation, they have a certain letter of the keyboard reserved for them with a dash, it is very likely that those things are general and that they are used in other places as well. So let's just continue looking through here. Again, you have the force command. You see it's pretty much this, it's the same. There is the same description as well. You can read through it. Forgive me if I'm mistaken here, but I am 99.99% sure that this is exactly the same description as well. Feel free to look at it. I'm sure you won't get disappointed there. Anyway, we got a D. Nope, don't care about that for the time being. Archive attributes, etc. Anyway, the only good option here for me is the force, and if you can use force with CP far more often than you should with RM, primarily because you're not going to mess anything up. So what? You're just going to copy files from one place to another. They'll still be there. They're not gone anywhere. They can't get legs and walk out of your system. So no problems there. Anyway, let's just go ahead and try to copy something. LL, what we got here? We've got file 01. So type in, oops, let's do this. So clear LL CP file 01. Also what is very much applicable is dash home. I'm just specifying, I'm just giving an example of a path. This can be typed in so many different ways for home, but no, okay. Random guy, file 01. I would like you to copy this to the downloads folder. So go to downloads, and there you go. Nothing too complex. nothing out of